What if your grocery store shelves went bare in weeks? As tariffs threaten to cripple the economy, the genius behind the psychology of money reveals why true wealth isn't millions, it's contentment. Get ready for a Podslice Hub episode that could redefine your financial future. Today, we dive into an eye opening discussion from the Diary of a CEO featuring Morgan Housel, author of The Psychology of Money and Same as Ever. This episode unpacks the looming tariff crisis, the psychology of wealth, and the pursuit of true contentment in a chaotic economic landscape. As always, we'll start with 10 key takeaways to equip you with actionable insights, followed by a story-driven summary that brings the conversation to life. 1. Tariffs could be catastrophic. Tariffs, like those recently imposed, act as a tax on imported goods paid by the importer, not the exporting country. A blanket tariff of 10 to 145% could halt trade, leading to empty shelves and skyrocketing prices within weeks. Morger 2. Mindset over mechanics. Financial freedom is more about psychology than formulas. Understanding emotions like greed, fear, and envy is more critical than mastering technical finance skills. 3. Contentment, not happiness. Happiness is fleeting. Contentment is the true goal. Morgan shares the story of his grandmother-in-law, who lived happily on $1,700 a month because she was content with simplicity. 4. Savings as independence. Saving isn't about hoarding for a rainy day. It's about buying independence. A cash cushion gives you control over your life during economic downturns or personal crises. 5. The danger of rapid growth. Like trees that grow too fast and rot, businesses or investments that scale quickly often lack durability. Sustainable growth prioritizes endurance over speed. 6. Housing isn't always an investment. Buy a home for stability and memories, not as a get-rich-quick scheme. Morgan emphasizes that homes should be about family, not financial speculation. 7. Renting can be smarter. Renting offers flexibility, especially for young people chasing opportunities. Morgan and his wife rented for years, moving freely across cities, which fueled their early success. 8. Focus on $30,000 questions. Stop obsessing over small savings, e.g., skipping coffee. Big decisions like where to live, study, or work have far greater financial impact. 9. Index funds for simplicity. Morgan invests in Vanguard Total Stock Market Index funds, VTI, for broad exposure to American businesses, yielding 8-10% annually on average, prioritizing endurance over risky bets. 10. Live to minimize regrets. Life's goal is to reach your deathbed with minimal regrets. This means balancing financial security with living authentically, pursuing what truly matters to you. Imagine a bustling port, container ships stacked high with iPhones, clothes, and toys, all waiting to dock in America. But at the water's edge, a new tax looms, a tariff, a toll so steep it could choke the flow of goods. Morgan Housel, our guide through this economic storm, steps onto the scene, his book, The Psychology of Money, tucked under his arm like a weathered map. He's not here to predict the stock market or sell you a get-rich-quick scheme. Instead, he's here to unravel the human heart behind our financial choices, especially as the world braces for what could be the biggest economic story of our lives. Picture a grocery store, its shelves brimming today but teetering on the edge of emptiness. Morgan explains tariffs with a simple analogy. They're like a sales tax, but instead of you paying 6% at the checkout, companies pay up to 145% to bring iPhones from China. The catch? They pass that cost to you, or stop importing altogether. Weeks away from empty shelves, he warns, his voice steady but urgent. Unlike 9/11 or the 2008 crash, this crisis could end with a single button on the president's desk. Yet the global economy is a delicate machine, and tariffs are like swinging a crowbar at it. One wrong move, and the gears grind to a halt. Now shift to a quiet garden where Morgan's grandmother-in-law tends her flowers, living on just $1,700 a month. She's not rich by Wall Street standards, but her smile radiates a wealth no billionaire can buy. She was content, Morgan says, and that's the secret. While billionaires chase status, mansions, jets, immortality, she found joy in birdwatching and library books. This is the heart of Morgan's philosophy. Wealth isn't about piling up dollars, but managing expectations. Contentment, not happiness, is the treasure we're all seeking. Zoom out to a factory in 1950s Detroit, where blue collar workers earned wages close to white collar professionals, building cars for a booming America. It was a golden era, a manufacturing monopoly born from Europe and Japan's post war ruins. But that world is gone, Morgan explains, replaced by automation and global specialization. China became the world's factory not just for cheap labor, but for unmatched expertise in low end manufacturing. Meanwhile, America excels in innovation, designing iPhones, not assembling them. Tariffs won't bring back the 1950s. They'll only raise prices or empty stores. Now, picture a young couple, suitcases in hand, moving from city to city, New York, Portugal, Bali, chasing opportunities. That was Morgan and his wife, renting for a decade before buying a home. Flexibility was everything, he recalls. Renting wasn't wasting money. It was buying freedom to seize life's possibilities. Contrast this with a family locked in a 2% mortgage, unable to move for a dream job because new rates are 7.5%. Golden handcuffs, Morgan calls them, a reminder that owning can trap as much as it liberates. In a cozy living room, Morgan plays Legos with his kids, his ultimate investment. He owns a house, a chunk of cash, and Vanguard index funds. Simple, boring, enduring. I'm not betting on AI or Tesla, he says. I'm betting on American capitalism, 8-10% a year, steady as a heartbeat. His wealth isn't for Ferraris, but for saying no to work he doesn't love, for controlling his calendar, for independence. As the conversation winds down, we're in a hospital room where a dying man whispers, "So much wasted time." Morgan's voice softens. Life's goal, he says, is to minimize regrets. Not by chasing millions, but by living true to yourself. For some, that's a one-bedroom apartment like Chuck Feeney, the billionaire who gave it all away. For others, it's Warren Buffett's modest Omaha home. For Morgan, it's Lego nights with his kids, a far cry from the travel-obsessed 20-something he once was. The world feels fragile, tariffs, AI, recessions looming like storm clouds. But Morgan reminds us it's always been uncertain. The key is to save not for a new car, but for options when life shifts. Ask $30,000 questions. Where to live, study, work, not $3 ones like skipping coffee. And above all, seek contentment. As the port grows quiet and shelves thin, Morgan's words linger. If nobody else was looking, would you be happy with this? Love this episode? Hit that subscribe button on Podslice Hub to join our community of curious minds. Share your thoughts in the comments. What's one $30,000 question you're asking yourself today? We'll be back with another audiobook-inspired dive, so stay tuned for stories that spark change. Thank you for listening.